Okay, let's dive right in. For the longest time, technology's role in medicine was, pretty simple. It was a helper, something on the sidelines. But that is changing, and it's changing fast. Today, technology isn't just supporting healthcare, it's actually becoming a fundamental part of how we understand and improve health itself.
So that brings us to this really crucial question. Is all this tech just making our existing medical tools a little bit better, or is it actually becoming the medicine? Well, the answer lies in these two key ideas that sound really similar but are, believe me, worlds apart: MedTech and TechMed. And figuring out the difference is the key to seeing what the future of your health looks like.
All right, so let's start with the one we're probably all a little more familiar with, MedTech. The best way to think about this is as a logical, kind of intuitive evolution of the doctor's toolkit.
At its heart, MedTech is all about creating better, smarter, and more efficient tools to support our doctors and nurses. The whole focus is on boosting and improving the way medicine is already being practiced.
Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine you're upgrading from an old paper map to a GPS. You're still driving to the exact same place, right? But now, the journey is just way safer, a whole lot faster, and far more precise. Well, MedTech does the exact same thing for a surgeon or a radiologist. It makes their skills better without changing the fundamental job they're doing.
And we see this stuff in action all around us. We're talking about robotic systems that give surgeons almost superhuman precision, AI that can spot tumors the human eye might miss, those wearables that monitor our vitals 24/7, and even smart implants that can manage conditions like diabetes pretty much automatically. All of these are just better tools.
And the scale of this upgrade? It's absolutely staggering. A human doctor, a specialist, might be able to analyze, say, 10 complex medical images in an hour. An AI-assisted medtech system? It can process thousands. I mean, that's just a massive leap in what's possible.
And this is where things get really, really interesting. Because when you see that massive leap in efficiency, it just begs the next question. What happens when we stop thinking about tech as just a better tool and start thinking of it as the treatment itself?
This huge pivot in thinking is what brings us to our second concept, TechMed. And this isn't just an upgrade to the toolbox. This is about designing a completely new way of doing medicine from the ground up. With TechMed, technology is no longer on the outside looking in. It's not just a supportive instrument anymore, it actually becomes embedded within the therapy. The tech is the medical intervention.
Think about the shift from CDs to music streaming. MedTech would have just given us a better, fancier CD player. But TechMed is Spotify. It completely reinvented how we find, listen to, and share music. It's a total paradigm shift.
And the real-world examples? They're basically straight out of science fiction. We're talking brain-computer interfaces that let paralyzed patients move robotic limbs with their thoughts. Software that a doctor can literally prescribe to treat anxiety. Or even using virtual reality to help people manage chronic pain. In every single one of these cases, the technology is the treatment.
So we've got these two incredibly powerful forces, right? One is optimizing medicine, the other is completely reimagining it. And they sound like they're on totally separate paths, but where do they meet? Let's take a look at how they compare and, maybe more importantly, how they actually work together. So here's the bottom line. MedTech is focused on optimization. It's like giving a car better brakes or a smarter navigation system. But TechMed? That's focused on reimagination. That's like inventing the fully autonomous car, which changes the entire definition of what it means to drive.
But like I said, these two paths aren't totally separate. They meet, they overlap in really powerful ways, and probably the most important intersection point right now is artificial intelligence.
You see, AI plays this amazing dual role. In its MedTech hat, it acts as this incredible diagnostic tool, helping doctors see things more clearly than ever before. But when it puts on its TechMed hat, it shifts the entire goal from just treatment to prediction, using our data to forecast health risks before we even have symptoms. Now that is a total reimagining of what healthcare is. This convergence is leading to one of the most incredible trends I think we're seeing today, the digitization of the human body. We're seeing implants that don't just do one job, but also communicate, monitor, and learn. The line between our biology and our technology is really starting to blur in some very practical, life-saving ways. Okay, so this is all really fascinating, but what does it actually mean for you, for your family, for your future? Why should you even care about the difference between MedTech and TechMed?
Well, it's because this revolution directly impacts the most important parts of your life. It means diseases can be caught way, way sooner. It means treatments can be tailored specifically to your body and your data. And ultimately, it's going to redefine how long, and just as importantly, how well we all get to live.
I think the biggest takeaway here is that our health is no longer something that's just managed inside the four walls of a clinic or a hospital. It's becoming a part of our daily lives. It lives in our phones, in our wearables, and in the very algorithms that help us make better decisions every single day.
And all of that leads us to this final, really powerful idea. For pretty much all of human history, we've treated health as something to be repaired when it's broken. But with these new technologies, we are entering an era where health becomes something we can actively and continuously design. And that changes everything.